I'm going to create myself a faction, and I initially want to go with a faction that is reasonably unique. I want them to live in an environment where other species normally wouldn't live, and be kind of a species that would, in case of a all-out war, be the only one to kind of survive. So I want a species that, for example, live in ice, and they don't have any kind of a reason to let anybody else exist, because they do not live in these continental worlds where all the other species would normally live. And I was actually thinking about going with a plantoid. As you can see, these are the plantoids, and assume that they live under ice in Arctic worlds, very icy worlds, and they just kind of leach the ice, drink that water, and from the depths of ice they somehow manage to dig and create themselves a metal mining facilities and other mineral mining facilities and so on. So this would make sense, because if towards my idea of a species that lives in normally uninhabitable conditions and still can create very similar kind of a language composition with sounds and words and reasonably similar reasoning to humans. At the same time, they would have political parties and so on and so forth. The other secondary choice of mine was just to go with humanoids. I checked this game a little bit, and it seemed to me that it's mostly focused on species that actually look very mammalian, humanoid, because of the names and of well, like ruling parties, and the names of views towards other factions, xenophobe, and so on and so forth. And I just don't think that, for example, a word xenophobe or a political party would have much to do with the plantoid, right? But as I said before, I assume that the plantoids would in this case be able to reason in a very similar way as we humans do on Earth. Unfortunately, I do not have an example of how aliens would otherwise be thinking differently than us, and it would be really cool to go with the humans, but I kind of suspect that it's just not very original. You know, there are so many alien species in this game that it would be really awesome to just go with an alien first. And a plantoid, it's so like unique, and at the same time we have plants in our world, so it kind of relates to our world a little bit, that these plants that we have could have these brothers or similar species like cousins that can actually think I could go with one of these. As I've seen the pictures right here, they don't look much different to me. And when I want from like mammalians, like they have, you see, mammalians have heads, eyes, and then you go with some plantoids, and they're kind of very similar. They have these eyes, and they have a head right here again, and they look to me more like just any alien rather than a plant. Right here you could say a plant. I would say this is one of the most plantish looking species. However, this one, it just looks like another dragon, just besides the fact that it's green, you know. And for example, this guy, obviously he looks like he has a bunch of leaves on him, but he looks like any other kind of regular alien. It just doesn't have the plant in it. However, this guy is a plant. I would definitely say so. This is a tree, man. So this is really close, but as you can see, he has arms. His arms look like they're similar to our own muscles, and so on and so forth. And this guy is just a wraith, you know. This is even a plant? I don't know. I know there are fungoids here. Fungoids are very kind of well shown as some sort of a like a weird thing, like they don't have eyes or whatever, they're moving, their bodies are moving. It looks like a bunch of mushrooms are on his head. I think these are quite unique, but all the other ones, they are very similar to me. A bunch of regular aliens that are called differently. You know, these are birth people. Obviously, if someone wants to go with the birds, yet again we have birds in our world, so it wouldn't be surprising to find you know a dragon that actually kind of evolutionized himself a good brain, and then he started to think. As you can see, they have arms, so they can make stuff. Besides, they would fly. And reptilian, these are regular aliens that we probably see mostly in our movies. Mammalians, just pretty much weird looking animals that can stand on their if we can call feet. Like this is a fox, under this fox has arms, and there's humanoid. And these guys look like proper aliens that we would probably imagine, right? From movies. These sort of guys are mostly in movies. But it's kind of difficult to actually kind of attach all kinds of a human-like things, like to views towards other factions and so on, to a bunch of plants. I just don't kind of see them thinking that much, but you know, it's space, so everybody probably has a good brain in space. And I'll probably just throw a coin and go with something. And this time I'm going to choose humans. So the name, we can randomize name. Our species name is going to be AndYouLeftTheGame. Maybe YouTube subscribers. AndYouLeftTheGame YouTube subscribers. Or it could just be and you left the game. Adjective. We put and you left plural. I'll just go and you left the game. Facebook followers. And if we go with the adjective, I'll just go with the simple and you left the game Twitter followers. Okay, so we'll have these 3 phrases that would kind of a uniquely combine into this one human race. Humanize. Now,